opening statement, then we'll go to questions.
Man, well, first of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. God, this is just so much fun, such a blessing, right? To do this. Thank you for the crowd, the students that showed up. I thought the energy in the building at the start of the game kind of stunned them a little bit. You know, watching their games to this, they hadn't been in front of a big crowd, and you know, and we know what a crowd looks like here, and that wasn't even big, but the energy was incredible, and the guys just fed off of it, and really proud of the guys. The first probably 24 minutes, about 24 minutes, we played some really good basketball on both ends of the floor, and then human nature kicked in, and they relaxed, and then those guys, because we relaxed, saw the ball go in the hole, and when you let good shooters like Chris Bell see the ball go in the hole, you know, they start going in, and we know what a great player Dede is, so you know, just happy for him and his family, and so blessed for the win, excited to continue getting better.
Questions? Who wants to start?
Will you take more appreciation for building the 25-point lead, or maybe a little bit more than disappointed and kind of giving it up?
Well, I'm gonna have great appreciation for getting the lead, and then the great thing is that we have a lot of teaching film, you know, that we can do from a win, because it's a whole lot better teaching after a win than it is teaching after a loss, right? And so, so we have a lot of good film that we can say this is how we can get better, and it's good for us, you know, as a staff to say, okay, what could we have done differently, maybe to stem the tide? And I'm really proud of this team because last year, like if a team went on an 8-0 run, we were done, right? We couldn't come back from it, and they actually went, I think, on a 10-0 run, and I just let it sit just to see how we would respond, and then we responded with 2 big shots, and it was back to 15 points or whatever, and good. So yeah, learn a lot from it. Excited. I'm gonna celebrate this win because winning is hard.
I know there's probably a lot to be happy with and proud of, but during Luka's performance kind of stands out to me. What do you think?
Yeah, it does. I was excited. These next 4 games are going to be for me to see our forwards because those, I mean, Newman had nobody taller than 6'6", and he shot a bunch of threes, and those guys couldn't be on the floor. And then you play, you know, Greensboro, and they weren't very big either, with, you know, quick guys, and you know, it's and Bellarmine the same way, you know, and so we didn't get to see the stuff we see at practice, you know, all the time, and how much better he's getting. But Coach Peterson and Coach Ream are doing a great job with our forwards, and you see Kamari's improvement. So you're playing against light bodies, you know, and man, that one possession where he blocked the 2 shots and the pass in the second half when he zipped it from top, because he's a really good passer. And so, yeah, he did a lot of really good things. I'm excited for him.
What did you like most about Kamari?
He figured out they couldn't guard him. You know, like for a while there, like he was catching it and being hesitant, and then it was like, bruh, go score the ball. You know, like his bump spins, you know, he did a really good job of, I mean, I think we had 56 paint points, right? And then when you're shooting the 3, we didn't shoot a lot of 3s tonight, right? I mean, but we're 50%. And so when they have to stay spread out like that because of our 3-point shooting, then you need a guy in there who one-on-one can go get a bucket, and you know he can, and so that was impressive.
PJ got a lot of contact tonight. Got called for a couple fouls where obviously he didn't think he was committing anything. But do you think in some situations he's maybe trying too much to get fouls as opposed to just scoring? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at the film and see that, and you know, this part of his growth. I mean, he shot 274 free throws last year, and most in the country, and so I don't want to take away that superpower from him, but you know, we'll look at film and figure out how we can help him with that.
You've got some good players since you've been here, but you've never had 3 players score 20 points or more apiece in the same game. How does it feel to have that balanced scoring like you do?
Yeah, you know, it makes you look like a good coach. You know, I mean, Abdi. Just think, Abdi had 5 assists tonight. You know, he didn't let the fact that they were like taking away stuff from him stop him from being a good player. You know, and so yeah, when you like this thing's about players, man. Like it's about players. Coach Driscoll does an unbelievable job with the offense, and you know, just everything is going on. But it's about players. You know, when at the end of the shot, you know, David Castillo is rising up and shooting that thing, or Abdi's shooting that thing, or Nate is shooting. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So.
I guess kind of going off of that, and you did mention not living by the three. How encouraging is that for your offense to score in a variety of ways?
Yeah, no, it is. And, you know, the thing about being a really good three-point shooting team is that it spaces the floor. And so, I mean, we can go make layups. We'll go make layups all day long. It's the, you know, it's a higher percentage shot, point per shot, than shooting the three. You know, if it's a layup at the rim uncontested, and so that's what we want first. And the other stuff, you know, that's the icing on the cake.
You mentioned you got to see how good of a player Dave Ames is tonight. Can you walk us through any interactions you had with him and just what it was like seeing him again?
And I gave him a hug, told him I loved him, and you know, I'm wishing him the best. You know, he's a terrific young man, and you know, never wanted him to leave, but that's the nature of college basketball now. So I just wish him success. Last year at Virginia, I wished him success, and you know, cheered for him when he played, and I could watch him, and same thing here with Cal. He's just a really good player. I've been watching him since he was in high school, though. So, you know, there's a long relationship there. And, you know, this is just the nature of the business now, but it doesn't have to be business for our relationship.
Defensively, just you said they lack stuff a little bit. Just where do you see it flip? What are just some of those things that you notice that need improvement going forward?
It's about focus. It's about focus. The human nature is that you get a big lead, and then guys, you know, a tendency to think, okay, I can relax a little bit, or I can do this on offense, and then it turns into whether it's taking a tough shot or driving in traffic, and you know, you have a turnover, and or you don't play it with the same pace on the offensive end, and you know, so they can guard you. Now, you know, they're coming at you on, you know, on a missed shot or whatever it is. It just, you know, it's just one of those human nature things that you're trying to get them to, you know, just not do. Then on the flip side is a team that's down big, and so there's no shot pressure on it, right? Like, if I miss this shot, we're already down 23, you know, it doesn't matter, so I can rise up and shoot it with confidence, and that's what they did. Then they started seeing it go in, and then it starts going in, and then all of a sudden, you know, they get rolling and stuff. It's just a little different, you know. So it's a combination of things on both sides. You know, I thought there were times we played really good defense, and they just had better offense. But for the most part, you know, I think if I judge the first 24 minutes of the game, we executed what we wanted to execute, and then the last 16 minutes of the game, I think they executed what they wanted to execute better than we could defensively.
Forgive me if this has happened before and I missed it, but I saw at least today there was a huddle or two where you were letting Matthew lead the, you know, talk to the guys when you were out, talk to the other assistants. What just has given you the so much? I mean, I know you've known him forever, but what gives you so much confidence in him that you let him take over a huddle for a while?
Well, he's been doing it all year long. Like, he goes in, talks offense, and then I come in, I talk defense, and like, you know, just whatever it is I see, and then he goes back in and repeats what he said on offense, because they have a tendency to forget sometimes. And so, yeah, we've been doing that all year long, and I mean, he's here because I have complete trust and confidence in him, not as a coach and as a man. And, you know, I mean, you know, when I was at Baylor, we did the same thing. I did the defense, and then coach would come and talk offense, and you know, as we did Yurk when he was here. Yurk would talk defense, and then myself or Rod would go in and talk about the offense. And but we have a great chemistry. We're constantly talking to each other, and I know, I have full confidence that when he goes in, he's telling the guys exactly what needs to be done. And I mean, he scored 55 points in the first half. He coached the offense in the first half, and I coached the offense in the second half. That's what happened.
Any other questions for Coach? Okay, thank you, Coach, appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. God bless. Go Cats.
Still be at 44.